This is where it ends.
This is Stefano's voice lines for the, well, for the, for the, video essay kind of like thing. Okay. Let me just begin. So, Apex Legends has changed. Apex Legends Season 3 just got released about a week ago with a new map, weapon, and character called Crypto. And I thought it would be interesting to make a video about it. So Apex's new season Meltdown takes a place on a new map called World's Edge that brings new places to drop down on. So Apex's new season Meltdown takes place on a new map called World's Edge that brings new places to drop down on. Care for a stroll on an icy landscape, hot dome, or a nice grass field? Well, World's Edge happens to have all of that. Plus caves. Oh, the caves. The caves are small spaces with some loot as well as a loot vault. What's a loot vault, you might ask? It's only a room filled with high-tier loot. With all of this possible loot that can help you with the winning of a game. Some may argue that there needs to be a way to sort of even it out. Well, there is. There's these cargo bots that could drop down loot for players that could be legendary. There's these cargo bots that could drop loot for players that can There's these cargo bots that could drop loot for players that could be up to legendary. There could be legendary loot in the cargo bots. And if the drone happens to have red spots on it, then it drops a red key card. The key card acts exactly how one would think it would act. This one key card could unlock the doors to some of the best loot one could ask for. There is a downside though, an inconvenience, an annoying thing: the journey. The key card unlocks the doors blocking you from getting that full golden armor, epic backpack, etc. and other stuff. However, like I mentioned before, these things can be located in the caves, which can be filled with traps or people. Not to mention that by the time it takes you to get there, the following things could happen: being fired at by enemies, getting a grenade thrown at you, being attacked by an ultimate, getting attacked at all, getting destroyed by the ring. And maybe one thing that could just ruin it all: some other squad or person could just take the loot before you even get there. Besides the loot vault, Apex has also added some new forms of movement. Apex has also added some new forms to move, new ways to get around, new transportations. On the map is a place called Geyser. It is a stationary geyser that has the ability to send people flying up in the air, or to send people flying up in the air and sends them into the flight animation. It's good for easy movement around the geyser, but there is a way to get around the map. In addition to the new map, Apex has decided, in addition to the new map, Apex had decided to plant a train on there. Like this thing goes across Sorry, I gotta wait after I make it. Like, this thing goes across a lot of the map. It's pretty good since the map is huge, and if the storm is nearing and the circle is far, this train can be a good help. Also, there's one other thing. Now to talk about the new character, Crypto. This new character is interesting. He has a surveillance drone that could scan enemies and your teammates, and also he has a passive. Also he has a passive ability that lets his teammates see what his drone has scanned, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. He can also pick up your teammates' banners from the boxes that they drop after they get eliminated, which can be a good help if enemies are surrounding that area and you basically know that you're gonna get eliminated if you even try to go there, unless you have the drone, which can just pick up the banner and you can just go, stroll on to a revive beacon and revive them. Now let's talk about his ultimate. This ultimate is from his. This ultimate is from Crypto's drone. Crypto's drone has the ultimate to. Crypto's drone has an ultimate that stuns enemies in the range of the range of stun. It stuns enemies in its range, and does shield damage to them, which can be pretty bad in some situations. It can also slow someone, so you could get that, and which is pretty interesting. I think I said interesting enough. Now, let's get on to the end. In conclusion, I think this fresh new map can grant players a new experience away from Kings Canyon and present novel implementations to keep people playing. In conclusion, I think this fresh new map can grant players a new experience away from Kings Canyon and present novel implementations to keep people playing. That's the end of my voice lines, okay? So, yeah, goodbye.